Hey everyone, it's Ron Johnson, and this is the Ron Johnson Show on Locked On Sports Minnesota. Got a loaded show today. We got Lauren Screeden from Inside the Bears. She's a friend of the program. She's been on before. We're going to have to talk about the schedule release. We're going to talk about the Bears trading the first-round pick, and also what games, because the schedule release came out. What games is she looking forward to? And then also we're going to talk about the Twins. We're going to talk about the NBA draft lottery. Should the Timberwolves try to trade with one of these teams? I don't know if anybody's willing to trade with the Timberwolves for what they have, but we'll talk about that next, coming up on the Ron Johnson Show.
Locked On Sports Minnesota Podcasts. It's endless Minnesota Vikings talk with the diverse voices of your local experts. Now the Ron Johnson Show. On the field, in the broadcast booth, Ron Johnson is Minnesota sports. He's played with them, hung out with them, and grown up with all the big names in Minnesota sports. They're hanging out with Ron Johnson. It's the Ron Johnson Show on the Locked On Sports Minnesota podcast. And it starts now.
Hey everyone, I'm Ron Johnson. This is the Ron Johnson Show on Locked On Sports Minnesota. I just want everybody to know this episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Locked On. Just make every moment more by visiting FanDuel.com/Locked On to get started today. I was able to make a bet as I bring my producer into the show, Sam Ekstrom. As I mentioned, we're going to have Lauren Screeden on later in the Hanging with Ron Johnson segment. We're going to talk a little bit in the Daily 3 about the Twins and what happened in their game in the 10th inning. We're going to talk about the Lakers Nuggets. But Sam, FanDuel, I love it, but I'm not going to lie. These bad beats are crazy. Like, I bet on the Dallas Stars. The Dallas Stars won. I could have bet straight out the money line and not won as much. I took the exciting part. I took the pucks. It was 1.5 pucks. So it means the Dallas Stars just had to win by 2. Sam, with 3 minutes in 20 seconds, the Dallas Stars were up 2. And you know what happened?
I do, unfortunately. I do.
What happened, Sam?
The Kraken scored. And the Dallas Stars were not able to get an empty netter. It's that empty netter is supposed to cash you, Ron. It didn't happen.
Why? I didn't even see it. I was watching it on my phone, so I didn't watch it. But on the empty netter, did they even take a shot on it? Like, did they try to take a shot on it, or what happened?
Yeah, it sent the puck down the ice, just didn't find its way in the goal.
And I know all the people that bet with me, the 1.5 puck bettors were all screaming, just make it or just stop them. We're up 2-0. 2-0, Sam. But you know what? I'm not going to lie. I'm not a hockey guy. But FanDuel, it made it exciting. Like the Kraken Dallas Stars, I never thought I'd be so bought in to watching that game. Besides, like, I saw one goal. I'm like, okay, Dallas has this. All right. And then we got to the third period. I'm like, okay, come on, somebody. And then they scored again. I'm like, okay, we got this. 2-0, 3 minutes and some odd change left. I'm like, there's no way they get. Oh, wait, there is a way. Seattle, don't do it to me. And then Seattle scores. But FanDuel, you're right. It made that moment more for me because I could care less about hockey, but I was dialed in. I'm like, somebody. And so I figured it was an empty netter. I wasn't watching. And I'm just like watching I'm hitting refresh on my phone. I'm like, come on. Somebody just score a goal at the end. Somebody just don't forget the sportsmanship. Just go score. Somebody skate down and score an empty netter. And they did. The goalkeeper, just knock it all the way down. Stop it and knock it all. No. Nobody did it, Sam. And they finished 2-1. Dallas Stars did win, so I was right there. I did pick the right team to win. I just should have took the money line. So a little advice from Ron Johnson on the Ron Johnson Show, people. The money line is okay. You're not going to make as much money, but the money line is okay if you feel like you know the team. I'm taking the points again tonight. Nuggets over the Lakers, 5.5. So I just need the Nuggets to win by 6. I feel like the Nuggets can blow it out. And if they are blowing it out, I'm going to be celebrating. Because I did that
This is the big one.
Bet. This is the big one. This is the no sweat first bet. I put the whole 150 plus a little bit of my. I think I put 10 of my own, and then the 150 from the no sweat. So yeah, I'm gonna be celebrating. I think, and if I win $136 plus the 150 from the no sweat. So then it's, what is that? $286. So and then and literally then I made all my money back from all those 3 and 4 little $10 bets I lost this weekend. So This is why it's fun, Sam. But FanDuel, it's awesome. So I'm excited about the Nuggets. But it'd be just my luck. LeBron comes out and puts on a cape tonight and goes for 40. Like this will be the 40 Dylan Brooks was looking for, and it's going to become a social media meme of like LeBron's going 40, and then he's like, "Oh, Dylan, I found your 40." Like, I just feel it. But I hope the Nuggets can close it out, win by at least 6. 5.5 is what I took. But Sam, we got to jump into the show. Enough about FanDuel and my extravaganza. And that's why I can't wait to travel. Like, because we go to the airport for these softball games. Now I'm like, this is going to make every softball trip a lot more fun because we're going to Iowa 2 more times. And then we're also going to Colorado. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm so looking forward to this. And then even Orlando next year when I go back for Disney. I don't know about the rules of Mexico. I don't know what that works, but I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure when I'm in the air though on a plane, I can switch on my Wi-Fi and it'll find my location on the plane in the state I'm flying over. So even on the plane ride to Colorado, I can't wait. But Sam, we have to talk about the NFC North. We do have Lauren Screeden coming on from Inside the Bears. So she's going to, we're going to have a little NFC talk. But really quick, Sam, when you look at the NFC North, and I looked at the early predictions. I don't know if you saw this. Right now in the NFC North, they have the Lions over-unders 9.5. They have the Vikings over and under as 8.5. They have the Packers over and under as 7.5, and they have the Bears as 7.5. So the way the odds are faced right now and where you can place your bets, which I'm going to take the over. I'm telling you right now on FanDuel. I didn't realize that. I got some time though, because I got to wait for my next trip, which is in I think 4 weeks. But I'm going to put it on the Vikings over 8.5. That's an easy early bet for me. And you get minus 125. So, and so correct me if I'm wrong, Sam, the minus means that's the favorite, right?
The minus means that you're paying some juice, as they call it, or some vig to the house. So they're charging you. So for you to win 100, you've got to pay 125.
Correct,
now,
which is the favorite.
Right.
And so the under is plus 105.
Yes.
So that means that's less likely to happen.
Oh, correct. Yep. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So right. So even Vegas knows that the Vikings are going to win over 8.5 games. I think they're just trying to get some bets, maybe hope for tragedy. Like when you look at some of these teams that have high hopes and then their quarterback gets hurt or their star gets hurt, and then Vegas wins because they're like, look, nobody could take the injuries into account. Because 8.5 to me seems simple. I mean, all of us on Locked On, we picked them as 9 at least, which is Reggie's 9 and 8. So 8.5 seems like an easy one for people that just want to put $100 down or $125 down to win 100. And then that makes the whole season worth watching for a Vikings fan because you put some early money down. If you really are confident in the Vikings, put $1,000 down or $1,000. What is it? $1,225 or $1,250 to get $1,000. So there you go on FanDuel.com/locked on, and then you'll get your no sweat first bet unlocked. You can throw that on the Vikings as well. But Sam, they have the Lions as the early favorites at 9.5. What are your thoughts on that?
Man, I mean, kind of definitely prisoner to what happened late last season. And I can't blame them. Like anyone who saw the Lions win, 8 out of their last 10, I can see why they are convinced that the Lions are headed in the right direction. I think a lot of us are skeptical though, right? Like we know that Jared Goff is hot and cold. We've seen Jared Goff have some really low lows in his career.
Correct.
And that defense, Ron, I mean, we thought the Vikings defense was bad. The Lions were worse in a lot of categories.
Yep.
And I don't know if they've really solved that defense. The Lions are Vegas is assuming, FanDuel is assuming that the Lions take a step forward beyond what they were last year. I don't know if they're at that stage yet. I just think that football is unpredictable. You don't always carry momentum from one season to another. I think it's kind of a new entity. So we'll see. I get it. I do get it. Because they're kind of a team on the rise. So I get why they would make them the favorite, but I just don't know if that's going to play out that way.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Friday roundtable now because this is going to be a fun exercise. Our challenge, because this is a testimony Tuesday, so I still have to testify. I haven't testified to that yet. But Mission Monday, Friday, I don't know what we're going to call Friday. Let me find out Friday. Let me find out on Friday. So we're going to do that. Let me find out that the Lions actually might win the NFC North. I don't think so. But when you think about the Friday conversation, I want all the guys, because we already talked about Reggie's 9-8 Vikings. We're going to have all the guys kind of do all the games. They're going to go through each team's games and then give a record prediction for all the teams. And let's just see where we fall with this line. And again, the secret to this, me and Sam know, we're not going to even tell Reggie and Luke the line. I want to see where they come in first, and then I know Luke does research, so he might do it. Reggie's not going to do any research, so he's not going to really pay attention to that line. So I want to see where they both fall on this line, quote unquote, because in order for Reggie's prediction to be right, that means the Lions have to go 8-9. That means the Packers have to go 7-10, and the Bears have to go 7-10. So I don't know if mathematically that can happen, but we'll all see. If that happens, that's the dumpster fire of the NFL. I feel like that would be the worst conference if your best team is 9-8. That reminds me of going back to like when the Eagles, Giants, Cowboys, and Washington Commanders were the worst dumpster fire in the league.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to win it. Everybody was trash. But then what happened? That entire, because they all got top draft picks and made some picks and trades, other than the Washington Commanders, everybody flipped. And the Washington Commanders got better, though. Not gonna lie, they did get better. But everybody flipped. The entire league flipped on his head. Eagles were one of the top teams in the league. Cowboys were right there in the playoffs with them, and the Giants made the playoffs as well. And they beat the Vikings.
AFC South last year was pretty rough, weren't they?
Was that the Buccaneers Saints? Yeah. NFC or AFC?
AFC South.
AFC South.
The Titans and the Jaguars. That was like an 8-9, 9-8 champion.
Yeah. Yep. So they were the ones. I don't think they're going to make the flip that the NFC East made. They're not the Cowboys, in my opinion. They're not the Cowboys, Eagles, and Giants. But you never know. I just don't think they did enough in the draft. Either the Cowboys, we saw what they did, and we saw the Eagles, and they're doing it again. The Eagles keep making great picks in these drafts and adding these defensive players to Jalen Hurts, as well as they got AJ Brown and so on and so forth. So, but looking at the NFC North scope, I'm interested to see what Lauren Screeden has to say, because she's inside the building. She's around the team and the players. She gets to hear the fans, because she does the fan interviews. Like, she's always talking to the fans at the draft. I saw her draft TikTok, because we always joke about her TikToks. Like, she had the dog Chevy TikTok. She had the drinking the wine TikTok. And then I know she did the draft, get dressed with me at the draft, get ready with me. But then she went out and interviewed fans. And so, I'm interested to see what the whole Chicago fan base thinks. What do they think of Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson now, and Jordan Addison, like Kevin O'Connell? Because when we talked to her earlier, we hadn't really got a full Kevin O'Connell season in yet. It was kind of the early parts of the off season. But now I'm interested to see what she thinks of Kevin O'Connell. Like what does he bring to the table? Because I know what Dan, and even Dan Campbell, she kind of talked about Dan Campbell, but I wonder, and then where does Matt Eberflus fall in that group? And so, just looking at the NFC North as a whole right now, Sam, in my opinion, I still think the way these odds are set, I still think the Vikings are the favorites. Like, even giving the Lions the 9.5, I feel like that's a sucker's bet, because those first six now, they're without Jamison Williams. They already have some internal turmoil about betting and gambling and all that other stuff. So that can weigh on a team during the offseason, to where when they come in those first couple games, they're just mentally not in it yet, because they just don't feel like they should be. Like, they feel like they should be in more trouble than they're in, or maybe they hate the NFL and they're like, we didn't do anything wrong because we weren't betting on our games. Why are we, why is DraftKings a partner of the NFL? Why are we having sports books now in 20 stadiums? But yet you don't want the players to bet on any sports just because they're in the facility. And so I can see how they could see that as being a hypocrite. Like, it kind of is. Like, you're promoting all this gambling, you're giving all these lines out, but then you don't want your players to bet on other sports like basketball, hockey, horse racing. It's weird for me. Betting on football, I get that one, because you have too much inside information. You have too much insight on injury. You have too much insight on who's going to play and who's not going to play. I get that side of it. Also, you don't want players like doing that and then screwing up their own games. I don't think a player would do that. But if they did, they would be smart enough to not do it themselves. Like, they know enough people that could do it. Like, Sam, I'm pretty sure if one of the Vikings players came to you because they saw you walking up with your media credentials to go to a game, they're like, hey, put 10,000 for me on the Lions to beat us today. And then they hand you a bag with 10 grand in it. Pretty sure you're going to make the bet for them. Like, you know,
I need a nice commission, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure you make that bet. You would call your bookie or go to FanDuel and put it, but you know, like it doesn't happen that way. So, but players are smart enough, I think, to not bet on their own games. So I think the NFL needs to come up with something to make sure they understand when they can bet, what they can bet on. Is there a limit? Which I don't know if you can put a limit on grown men, but there has to be something around that because the Lions, I think, didn't know. But anyway, Sam, looking at the NFC North. Right now, I feel like it's the Vikings, Lions, Vikings first, then Lions, and then I think the Bears and Packers are right there. I do personally think the Bears are going to be better, even though people don't. I think the Bears are going to be better than the Packers because I feel like they are literally trying to recreate what the Eagles did with Jalen Hurts, with Justin Fields. Before we jump over to Lauren Screeden, though, Sam, last quick one.
Yeah.
In your opinion, is there a chance? Is there a chance that the Packers somehow get on top of the NFC North with Jordan Love?
I think it would have to be sort of like Reggie Wilson predicts. The division would have to be down.
Right.
And the Packers would have to be kind of around that 500 mark. Their defense is not broken. I mean,
right.
The Lions defense, the Bears defense, and the Vikings defense are all arguably or were bottom 5 in the league, all of them.
Yeah.
Packers have still maybe the best pieces on defense. Now, it didn't play out that way last year. They weren't nearly as good as they should have been. Maybe something clicks this year for that defense, and Jordan Love isn't expected to do that much to win football games. Maybe the running game is really powerful for Green Bay. I do think there's a path. I don't want to rule it out, but they certainly don't have a high ceiling. I don't think they're going to win more than 9 games. And if just to win 9, I think it's going to have to go really well for them.
Yeah, I'm not going to hate on Jordan Love. I hope he does well, just not against the Bears because I don't want to hear the fans of the Packers coming back to me about that. Yeah, I need him to lose to the Bears early, and then against the Vikings do terrible, and then have a decent season from there. Like I'm not opposed to that. But I'm Ron Johnson. That's Sam Ekstrom. This is a Ron Johnson show. Coming up next, we got Lauren Screeden on the Hang with Ron Johnson segment. But before we do that, we have a word from our sponsors.
Yep, we are brought to you by FanDuel. We're on a fast break in the NBA playoffs. Conference finals are here. It's all riding on the line tonight for Ron Johnson. He's got his money on the Nuggets -5.5. You too can join FanDuel and get your no sweat first bet. They've also got a bet 5 get 150 promotion. Great promotions at FanDuel. Check them out. They're getting new ones all the time. It's a safe and secure, easy to use app. You get paid instantly. Hopefully Ron gets paid tonight. No better place to bet the playoff action than at America's #1 sportsbook. FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started and get your no sweat first bet up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon. FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA.
Well, as promised in the Hang with Ron Johnson segment, I got Lauren Screeden. I used to say Screeden, but I know I can read now. It's Screeden from Inside the Bears. And unfortunately, I was looking forward to just Lauren. She's all dialed up for her photo shoot, so it's going to be fun with just Lauren, but somebody else had to join the show. So I want to bring them in. Special guest, that guy. Everybody who knows Spice Adams has heard the stories about the ignorance, the absolute habitual line stepping of hurting people's feelings. Genuine, the singer, can no longer go in public. I can't wear the boots my dead grandfather gave me. And Lauren has PTSD because every video I watch, Lauren, I feel like you're scared and you don't know what's coming next. Like
it's true.
Whenever Spice is about to do something, you have that look like, oh my God, what's coming next? So how is that dealing with him every day? Like, how often are you scared for your life or just worried about like you're going to be the next viral person?
I kind of have that look right now a little bit, but he's coming straight out the DJ booth. He was DJing for the photo shoot once we were done with our photos, which you have to understand also, this day is like my personal nightmare. Okay. I'm so awkward when it comes to photos. Do the green screen, do this. He makes it so fun, but he's dancing. Like the bar is here. He's dancing. He's just doing all the wild things. And then I get up there and I'm like,
Lauren, somebody sent me some exclusive music. I can't let you hear though.
So, Lauren, in this photo shoot, one, did Spice keep his clothes on? But two,
no,
he didn't.
Absolutely not.
Actually, I did. That was funny.
Shirt off, stomach slapping. I shouldn't do that.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. So yeah, I don't know what that move was. But I've heard, Lauren, that you get sweaty. Oh my goodness.
Do you see that?
Yes, I see that crap. What is wrong with you?
I don't know. I'm not trying to find out either, though.
Yeah.
But Lauren, I heard you get sweaty palms. How sweaty do you get during the photo shoots?
I was a little sweaty. I really was.
I don't understand how like it's sweat and cold at the same time. Like,
it's the worst combination. We hosted the Bears Care Gala on Saturday night, and a lot of people who I hadn't met before. Okay, great, shaking hands. It was mortifying. Like just cold, clammy, and he knew the whole time. He's just laughing while I'm shaking hands.
Hilarious.
He was also 5 minutes late, and I had to start myself.
Okay, who was late today though?
Oh, it was me.
You bringing up old stuff.
I'm used to Spice being late. I've been very prepared for that my whole life.
Fierce Saturday too. Very fierce.
That was today. That was like 5 minutes ago. Because what they said? You know what they said?
What is it?
We need to waste some film. Can you stand there for a photo? Sure.
Polaroid. Brought to you by the Chicago Bears. So talking about the Chicago Bears
was the only thing that existed when you guys were growing up, though,
right?
Wow. Lauren, you're like literally you graduated like 3 years after us?
Pretty much. It wasn't that long, but I will forever be younger, and I will forever die.
Forever young. I will be forever young. Okay, so let's jump into this Bears talk really quick with Spice Adams and Lauren Screeden. Schedule release. Video came out. Lauren, first I'll start with you. How much fun was that being at the Chicago Bears deli, having Annie Agar, she did a cameo. I haven't actually seen the whole thing. I heard Spice Adams was in it. How was that shoot?
So the video turned out amazing. I mean, it was so much fun, so Chicago. I only had 3 words, so it went really well for me because I didn't have to do too much. But it was so much fun. I think it really just encompassed everything Chicago. And obviously, Annie is hilarious, having her be part of it, having Seth Rollins be part of it, having Spice be pretty much a main character, I would say. Just made it so much fun. And do you really do the water on the chicken like that?
No, I don't. Like it was gross. It was gross to do. I saw yours, Ron. Are you gonna get a drone now? I
want to. That was kind of cool. That was cool.
How big was the drone? Was it just like some?
It was just like it was just a normal size drone, but the dude was from ESPN, so he's like a pro. Like one of those competition flyers. And so, he flew it through the weight room. He flew it underneath players' legs. He flew it around TJ Hawkinson. Myself and Gabe Henderson was sitting at the chairs talking about the next game. Then he flew over to Tatum Everett. He was in Kirk Cousins' van. So he flew as Kirk drove, and then he drove out the window, kind of like Avengers, because Kirk is a big Black Panther fan. So it was
it like one take where he did that?
2 takes. What? It only took us 2 takes.
2 takes?
2 takes.
Wow.
That dude was legit.
Yeah,
that dude was legit. John Randall, your boy John Randall was in it.
Was he in the media room?
He was in the media room doing Let Kwesi cook, and then at the end he had the golf ball, which was the last shot, and he had to land it in that circle. I don't know how many times he told us it took him like 3 times to land it. It's like a 150-yard shot from off the owner's deck onto the field, and they drew a circle. He claimed it only took him 3 shots. I don't know about that. we'll let him.
Schedule releases start being such a huge production, though.
It is. And so when you look at schedule releases, are there any that you guys saw that you were like, this was horrible?
I didn't watch all of them.
No.
I only saw.
So I would tell you this: watch the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You will be highly disappointed in their creative design.
They shot it with their phone or something.
It was the 2 mascots the entire time typing on a computer with an AI voice, just naming off the schedule. I don't know if they were trying to go like old school. Nobody knows. And all the comments are killing them. It's literally like, I hope our season's better than our schedule release. I mean, it's horrible. But did you see the Tennessee Titans?
Yeah.
Because theirs was really good.
On Broadway, right?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. They were asking people to name like teams and logos.
The logos. Yep. And they were asking random people. I was gonna say this, Lauren, before you got with the Bears, would you been able to, if they showed you a bunch of logos, would you been able to name every single team?
Yes.
That's That's a good question.
I'll answer for her. Yes.
Probably.
She would have.
That's a brat.
Yeah, because they showed the Colts logo. People kept saying Cowboys. They showed the Dolphins logo. Somebody said the Atlanta, Florida.
Atlanta.
It was like ridiculous. Like the Atlanta, Florida Seahorses. It was really bad. But with the schedule release, when it came out, Lauren, are there any games that jumped out that you're like planning for? Like, this is where my girls are going, or I can't wait to go for an extended period of time. I know you guys have been to London before, but were there any games that when that schedule comes out, you're kind of really ready for it?
I mean, I don't think there's any better way to open the season than Green Bay at home.
Okay.
I mean, that's just like we are starting off strong there. Also, I think it's week 3, Kansas City, going to Kansas City. I think that would be so fun. I went there for the draft, and it was actually my first time in Kansas City. And the whole joke was that I was going to move there after, because everywhere we went, people were so nice. I mean, so nice. It was so clean. It was just like beautiful. The draft setup was awesome. And everyone's like, do you want to move here? Like, calm down. I was a big fan of Kansas City.
So are you trying to say Chicago is mean and dirty? Like, what are you trying to say here?
No, it opened my eyes a little bit, you know?
They're going to try to steal you.
It's right.
I love that. And then, so I'm thinking girls trips. I could do it there, or, New Orleans.
Okay.
She's trying to get me to Montana, Ron. I'm not.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah, I saw that. That looked like a scene from. Have you seen the new movie Mother? The Mother with Jennifer Lopez on Netflix.
No, it came up recommended for me last
trailer.
night, though.
I haven't even seen.
Yeah, I watched it. It's good. But there's a long scene of her being out in the woods, learning, teaching her daughter how to shoot a rifle.
Montana?
That's what it reminded me of. Like, literally, it felt like I saw Lauren's little like snow video and all that. Like, I'm like, this looks like Montana.
She
Like,
got all type of stuff that be coming up to. It'd be like moose and bear. And man,
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. I'm going there tomorrow, actually.
but Spice, as a player, when the schedule release came out, what was your mindset planning, looking at that schedule, kind of planning whether it's, whatever it might be, a team you're looking forward to playing, a city you can't wait to travel to, or what?
I never cared. Like, I don't care. Like, I just take it one game at a time, man. You know that. And there'd be some weeks, it's always like the game that you look forward to. That's when you get hurt. Like, you would get hurt that week where you sprain your ankle or something like that, and that'd be the game you can't go to. So instead of, like putting all that energy to being excited for these different teams that you're gonna play, I used to just take it one game at a time. Made it that much easier. But the schedule release stuff, like, I don't get it. Who do we play? When do we play it? Put them out there. We ain't gotta do all this song and dance. Line them up. Let's go.
And when you think about New Year's Eve, I haven't looked at you guys' schedule. I know we're home for New Year's Eve, so we have a night game, unfortunately.
I'll be at that. We're playing Christmas and Thanksgiving and all that stuff. I look at that.
Yes, exactly.
I'd rather be home for Thanksgiving.
We know you're looking at Thanksgiving. That's all you really care about. It's been like a month preparing for Thanksgiving. The bacon. He's got to weave his bacon together, and he's got to lay on top of the turkey.
You ain't had it. That's why you're talking about it.
The bacon. I had your little Traeger breakfast, though. I do my eggs and my bacon and sausage on the Traeger. I've had that.
Traeger breakfast.
Yeah, he does a whole Traeger breakfast, Lauren. He was so proud of himself.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Just sitting out there with his sandals on, looking like one of his characters, looking like Uncle Vernus. Like, literally, he like people think it's a joke. He literally looks like that. Like, he looks like a terrible old uncle, right? Ashy knees, fingers, dirty elbows, terrible.
Enjoying myself.
Drinking a Fanta. So Lauren, when you look at and sorry, and people, this episode, to remind you, is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Locked On Sports. The Ron Johnson Show is fully heavy invested in FanDuel. I just made a couple bets, and I'm looking forward to this Lakers game tonight. I like the Lakers to win it all, but I hope the Lakers lose tonight because I put a big wager on the Lakers to lose to the Denver by 5.5 points. Brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Spice, speaking of FanDuel, speaking of betting, they have the Bears as an over-under 7.5 wins. They have the Lions as a 9.5 over and under win. Do you feel that's like, where would you sit? Would you take the over or the under on that for the Bears? I'm guessing the over, but do you feel like that's accurate for the Lions as well, that they're projected right now to win the NFC North?
Over 9?
The Lions would have to get up. So the Lions are saying the Lions could win 10. I mean, this is Vegas, though. You know, Vegas, they just take whatever bets they can get. But right now, Vegas has the Lions as the odds-on favorite to win the NFC North.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. You know what, man? Everybody look good on paper, you know, but you still got to go out there and play them games, man. But I would bet that the Bears would win over 9 games.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Lauren, what about you?
I think so. Yeah.
You would bet that?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And at that, and so the reason they're saying this right now, if you think about it, Justin Fields, Jalen Hurts are pretty much can be the same quarterback. This offense is probably going to end up looking a little bit like the Eagles' offense. And
that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, and the Bears made a lot of, I guess, moves in that direction. They didn't go get a quarterback. They traded that first round pick away. When you look at Justin Fields looking to have an offense like Jalen Hurts, as the Eagles did, ground and pound, do you feel like the Bears organization as a whole can kind of keep that? Because the biggest thing is defense. The defense last year wasn't good. They're having to get off the field. Do you feel like that's something that can actually happen? If Justin Fields controls the games, the defense should be able to do what they need to do.
I think so, man. I think we got all of our needs in the draft. We got some defensive linemen coming in. We got DJ Moore as the wide receiver. Cole Kmet is coming into his own. We got Tungen from the team up north, the green team or whatever. So I think we poised to have a good season, man. And, just got to piggyback off the season that Justin had. But, now he got a little bit more weapons. And Khalil Herbert is going to be the guy that he's handing the ball off to. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see what we're going to do this year, man. But Justin Fields definitely got some more weapons this year. So, and, we can still add some free agents, between now and then. So, I mean, we'll see what happens, man. I'm excited, though.
Yeah, I think it's going to be night and day different from last year. But we'll find out.
We will find out. And I'm looking forward to it. I know there's some primetime Vikings Bears games. So that'll be some fun. Lauren, you guys set up Peanut Tillman to eat the hottest chicken wings that were out there. Why? Yes, you did. You were part of this. Don't try to get out of it. Spice told me it was you. But you guys set Peanut Tillman out. For those that haven't seen it, please go to check it out on All Bears Media. You can probably see it on Lauren's page, Spice's pages on Instagram. They set Peanut Tillman up. Lauren, are you scared for your life that Spice might double cross you when one of these players try to get back at y'all?
No. We're family. He knows. He wouldn't do that. Would you?
I would not.
He wouldn't do that to me.
I'm not a prankster like that.
No. I would be more nervous for Peanut, honestly, than for him.
You see me turning around, man. I'm on.
Yeah.
Man.
Have you eaten near Peanut?
No, man. I'm leery, when I go over his house or when he come over to my house.
So,
all that. I'm checking my ring
I
apps.
legitimately felt bad.
Yeah, I know something is coming, man. He just.
Also, the feedback I got on that video was people were you lied pretty well. You really sold that. So then I made people nervous apparently, but
you did
along with the bit.
I felt like you were scared a little bit for your that you thought maybe you were going to get set up because you kind of first looked, you tasted it, then you kept eating it after that. Okay, they didn't get me.
Here's the thing, man. I've been knowing Peanut for 16, 17 years. I never pranked him. He's pranked Lauren multiple times. He's pranked my family multiple times. I've never pranked him. So I feel like I should get a pass because it's been these.
Maybe he'll give you one.
I hope so, man. For real.
You're not getting a pass. Lauren, some of your funniest videos, I don't remember who did it. I think Spice was the magician. He was doing a card trick on you.
Oh, yeah. We should bring back the card tricks.
Where the cards at?
Where are the cards at? They're in the studio, I think.
When these tricks are coming, do you actually think Spice is going to actually have a trick? At this point, have you learned your lesson, or are you still like a kid? Where's the ball?
What's he going to do?
Right. No. Or like Chevy, like your dog, you just keep falling for it.
She never knows what I'm going to do.
I never know. I just know I'm going to laugh. I know I'm not going to be amazed. I may be amazed by the stupidity of the trick, but the pure shock on my face is genuine. I do not think that he's actually going to pull a rabbit out of his sleeve, though.
That's a good one, though.
That is a good one.
A rabbit out of his sleeve. Wow.
Yeah.
And Lauren, last one before we get out of here. One quick one before we get out for both of you. You were down at the draft, and so you got a chance to talk to the fans after the draft picks, after the trades, and all that. What are the fans like? What was the reaction to a lot of that trading that first pick or that first pick? All the moves, because I know the fans of you do the interviews. What's been the overarching message from a lot of the fans?
I mean, I think fans are just excited right now, and I think they have a lot of reasons to be excited. Like Spice said, just in building off of last year and just all these new weapons, I think that there's this overall belief in Ryan Poles that's really fun to see. I mean, people are just truly bought in, and the fans I got to see down at the draft were so fun. They were so passionate. Going all the way to Kansas City. And then, of course, Darnell Wright wasn't there. So that was, a little bit disappointing, but it was still just, so much fun. And just getting to interact with everybody it's always a blast.
And same to you, Spice. Like you talk to a lot of the alumni. I'm sure you still talk to Alex Brown, Peanut. What are the alumni saying? Because I know alumni always have an opinion, a strong opinion about where their team is headed. What are some of the opinions of the alumni?
I think they're excited about the picks. They're excited about DJ Moore, of course. But we're just ready to get it started, man. We already know how this happens. Like, everybody's happy. Everybody's 0-0 right now.
Yep.
And everybody look good on paper, but we still got to put the pads on. Still got to go through preseason. Still got to get through that first game. So if we get through preseason pretty much healthy and then go into Green Bay and win, then we can start talking. But for right now, everybody's excited, just like how it is the year prior, the year before that, and the year before that. Like, everybody's always excited when the season is about to begin. But we all know that you got to come together and you got to get hot at the right time, and then we can celebrate.
And Lauren, last one to you. For the coaches in the NFC North, Matt LaFleur is kind of the pretty boy. Everybody knows that. The women love him on Twitter. Dan Campbell is kind of the energized guy, bite your kneecaps, super motivational guy. Kevin O'Connell is kind of the laid back former quarterback that just wants to be a part of he's a player's coach. He wants to be friends with all the players. What is Matt Eberflus? Like, what is his bravado going to come out this year? What are you seeing around the facility, or what are people how do we take Matt Eberflus? Like, what is his, because I don't know if he's pretty or like, what's his thing?
Well, I can tell you from the Bears Care Gala on Saturday night, apparently he was showing off some dance moves.
Oh,
like good dance moves.
Yeah.
Something I'm not familiar with, but I heard he was tearing up the dance floor. So that's a little inside scoop for you.
The only thing I'm looking forward to, he said he was going to sign me.
He did, and they shook on it.
Okay.
He said you could come to like one practice.
No. He said I get to play in the games. That's what I heard. Games, plural.
I don't know if that's what I heard.
That's what I
did
heard.
See a handshake, and I think you can suit up for practice. So
we gotta get the tape and rewind the tape. To me, it sounded like he said you get to play in the games.
Yeah,
well, J-Lo shook hands with Alex Rodriguez when he bought the Timberwolves and said, "I'm gonna be here forever." So handshakes don't mean anything because she's married to Ben Affleck now. She is no longer part of the Timberwolves. We are very upset in Minnesota. We thought she was going to help us with these free agents. I mean, who can say no to J-Lo? Like, I don't think a player in the NBA on their free agent visit could say no to J-Lo saying, you should be a part of the Timberwolves. They're all like, yep, sure. Okay, let's go. Let's do that. And she left us. She left Alex Rodriguez for Ben Affleck, and now we have Rudy Gobert. So it is what it is. I would think.
Are you going to go to France and practice with them?
No, I'm not. I'm not even going near that. They're going to Abu Dhabi. Actually,
so
the Timberwolves are playing games in Abu Dhabi and doing like training camp, like a week in Abu Dhabi. I don't know why. They're trying to make it international and all this other stuff.
You should go, Ryan.
But I was gonna say, and you threw a curveball, so I'll throw one in there. So the coach can dance. Lauren, can Spice dance better than the coach?
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Be for real.
Sorry.
I'm being for real. I mean, I don't know what kind of. I don't know if he's like Patrick Swayze out there, or if he's like, I don't know. Like, is he like Nelly? Like, because Spice is just.
I've just heard this. I didn't see it with my own eyes.
So Spice, can Lauren dance?
Rumors over here. No. Yeah. Oh, today we did a little, remember I had that shred of rhythm?
I do.
A half a shred.
I remember what I saw.
We did
and it does not scream
and
rhythm.
it went back, and I did the whole thing.
It does not scream rhythm.
No, but a half a shred.
Even that little move right there, I'm gonna take Phoebe from Friends over Lauren in the dance contest. I'm just saying.
Twice.
Elaine with the little kicks on Seinfeld. She's better than me too. It's the whole thing.
Well, I want to thank Lauren Screeden. I don't know why I keep wanting to put the N in there. It just looks like you have so many letters in your name.
There's a lot of E's. I'll give you.
It's a lot of E's and N's. It's Lauren Screeden.
Wait,
so what is your husband's last name though?
No, we're out of time. We are out of time. Thanks so much for joining us. No, that's terrible. It's Hoey.
Hoey?
H-O-H-E. Yeah. So it's spelled Hoey.
So Lauren Hoey?
I started calling me Loho. And thankfully it hasn't stuck, because that's not the kind of name I need in the TV atmosphere.
Lauren Hoey?
Yeah, it's easier for you though to say, so we could go with that.
Oh my goodness. Oh, so I see why you're gonna stick with the you're sticking with the Screeden for TV. But that
gonna have to.
Loho. What is wrong with you, man?
J-Lo
off the tongue.
J-Lo, true. Loho. Okay. How low can you go? Loho. Here we go. Lauren Screeden. I want to thank Lauren Screeden for joining me on the Ron Johnson Show. And my boy, Spice Adams. He came in, bombarded it, acted an absolute fool. Please follow them both on social media. Looking forward to the season. I'm actually pulling for the Bears because I made a comment on Twitter that has now hit, I think, 400,000 reactions now, because people are pissed off that I said Jordan Love has to play the Bears and the NFL doesn't like him by scheduling that. And everybody killed me. So I'm praying that you guys crush the Packers in the first game, because if you don't, my mentions are going to get absolutely murdered because they got bookmarked. Somebody screenshot. I got ratioed, I guess the kids say, because they got bookmarked more at one point than it was liked because people were just right. They're saving it. And now the kids were all the little people, the trolls, you got ratioed. I'm like, I don't care. Who cares? I still hope Justin Fields has himself a day. I hope Jordan Love throws 3 interceptions. Because I just want to have a good start of the season.
Yep.
We appreciate the support.
Hey, I'm with you guys there. I'm saying it on the Vikings pregame show. I'm gonna double down. Go Bears against the Packers. Go Bears, whatever the song is. Bear down against the Packers only. Bear down against the Packers.
We take that.
We'll take it.
And the Buccaneers and the Saints.
Yes, we'll take it all.
Against the Lions. Hey. Bear down. The Bear. I do have some paychecks from the Bears, so I will say that. Bear down. Yeah, they kept me around for 4 or 5 months. I'm a Lovie Smith fan. But I want to thank my boy Spice Adams, Lauren Screeden. I pray for you because you have to deal with him a lot. I just have to deal with him on text messages and FaceTime. By the way, he did not return my FaceTime after I FaceTimed him. So that's how Spice does.
You FaceTime me back.
Right. So you didn't FaceTime me back
first, initially.
So Lauren, if you call somebody and they call you back, then aren't you supposed to call them back?
Yeah, but there's definitely less pressure.
Oh my goodness.
When you FaceTime someone to be like, hey, look where I am, and then you actually leave from that place and then you don't have your phone.
Oh, then it's null and void.
How can you answer the phone?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I was driving. It's illegal to take a FaceTime while you drive. Just saying.
Okay.
I follow the law. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I know you're not. But I'm Ron Johnson. That's Lauren Screeden. That's Spice Adams, unfortunately. And coming up next, we got the Daily 3. That's 3 questions. We're going to go 1 minute each. But we'll be back after this. Man, always good to have Lauren Screeden on. But now it's time for the Daily 3. That's 3 questions. We're going to do 1 minute each. Take it away, Sam.
All right, Ron. I don't know if you stayed up till 1 a.m. last night. I did. I regret it. I'm tired this morning. But the Twins and Dodgers played a thriller. 12-inning game. Dodgers win 9-8. But maybe they shouldn't have. Not only was there a bad foul ball call that gave the Dodgers a run late in that game, the Twins in the 10th inning had the bases loaded. Alex Kirilloff at the plate, big hitter. He's been swinging the bat well. Strike one was about 4 inches outside. Then he fouls one off. Then strike three is about 4 inches inside. 2 strike calls that were unhittable to get Kirilloff out with the bases loaded. So, Ron, here's my question. We're seeing this more and more in Major League Baseball. Bad calls, umpires in hot water. Should we just have an electronic strike zone?
Well, the tough part about that is the chip. It's where the chip, so how many chips do you put in? We don't want to change the weight of the ball because that's the problem. So if you put a chip in there, you have to then account for the weight of that chip, which, is probably an ounce. Who knows? Less than that. I don't know what chips weigh. So then you have to take some of that yarn and make sure the weight of the ball hasn't changed. You also have to make sure it's dead in the center, because if that chip is anywhere off center, it changes the spin and the rotation of the ball. So there's a lot that goes in to try to put an electronic chip down, or maybe some type of electronic device underneath home base that as the ball crosses, and maybe just anything that crosses its path, it can track it. That's another option. I feel like these guys are billionaires. They can get it done. I think the human element of baseball still makes it fun, though. Like when you make it too computer generated, then you're like really taking the human element out of sports, where like bad calls in basketball, bad calls in football is just part of the game. So at the end of the day, it's where it crosses the plate, not where the catcher's glove catches it to finish. And I think people forget that. So there's a chance to maybe hit a corner. I wouldn't mind seeing it, but I do like the human element of the game. So you lose. Just don't put coaches always say, don't put the game in the hands of the ref. Win it early. Don't let them mess the game up. So there you go.
Yeah, it's just a little frustrating for me when they've got the little box on the screen. They've got the technology. You see it clearly. It'd be so easy to reverse those calls, especially when they're affecting the game.
True.
Second one here, Ron, we got Lakers Nuggets tonight. We've already talked about it. But LeBron's legacy, what if LeBron wins his 5th title as a 7 seed? Would this be LeBron's greatest accomplishment?
Yes and no, but I'd still say that 3-1 comeback, that was one of his greatest ones. The block from behind, all the things that had to happen to be perfect in that game. Even the being down to the Spurs, Ray Allen hitting the 3, them winning with the Heat. That was another big one. It's just when you're LeBron, your life is full of big moments. But as a 7th seed at the age he's at, I could see that, because a lot of people are saying nobody at his age has really ever led a team like that. They've been on a team with good players. I'd have to go back and look at how old Jordan was on his last one, but I don't think he was LeBron's age. And so when you think about that, it could be considered one of the greatest things LeBron's done. I don't know if I would say the greatest, because he still had Anthony Davis. If this was a team that maybe had like Tristan Thompson was his starting center, then maybe that for sure would be the greatest. But Anthony Davis is a beast. He gave him 20 rebounds in that closeout game in game 6. So, but yeah, it's up there, but I don't think it'd be the greatest. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, it might be kind of like Tiger Woods' final Masters.
Yeah.
At his age, after a number of years, to do it again, maybe one last time, it'd be pretty special. Maybe not as good as the Warriors comeback here. Right?
Yeah, true.
Last one, NBA draft lottery tonight. Who's going to get Victor Wembanyama? They've changed the lottery up, so like the top 5 teams all have a pretty equal chance to get like 10 to 14%. Is there a team that you'd like to see Victor land on?
I'm from Detroit. I like to see Victor go to Detroit. Yeah, the Lions, the Pistons, Houston Rockets, and San Antonio Spurs all have a 14% chance. I don't know if Houston and San Antonio really could even use him. Like Victor would be fun for basketball in Detroit, because you put him with Kate Cunningham, who's coming back, another long guard. You got Jay Ivey already there, another young up and coming guard. So you put those 3 together, you truly now have a big 3. You add maybe a couple free agent pieces like a Draymond Green, who might want to go back home to Detroit, and give them an identity and give them that. Dylan Brooks has been tied to Detroit, which I don't know if Dylan Brooks and Draymond could play together, but I would love to see that. And that would create instant attitude, defensive prowess of the bad boys. I know we asked Will Bradford about that, who works for Cam Newton's C1N media group, and he just said, you can't recreate the bad boys, but you damn sure can try. I will say that. He said you can't recreate it, but I'm like, you can try. You can for sure try. But you add a guy like Victor, I would like him in Detroit. But that's just me. Other than that, I don't know if there's Orlando wouldn't be bad because you put him down there with another group of young guns, with Jalen Suggs in that group. So that would be another fun group for him as well. And honestly, I like Dame. I like Damian Lillard. Portland, maybe he deserves a guy finally. Portland can get over the missing on Michael Jordan stuff they've dealt with for their whole careers. And that's another one. But that's what Detroit is my favorite because I'm from there. So
what if Utah wins with all those first round picks that they have?
That would be crazy.
In addition, and the core that they've got built there, man, that would be insane. Or Dallas.
Because I did allude to like maybe the Timberwolves could trade Rudy Gobert to the Pistons for their ping pong ball for their first, but no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But
Cat and Ant, maybe
you'd have to give up a lot. And I don't know if Cat and Ant are worth Victor. Victor is a unicorn, but he does need help. Like that's one thing I've noticed. Like he's like a KD. KD can't do it by himself. Joel Embiid can't do it by himself. Like you do need to have a Batman and a Robin and even, a couple other Avengers out there to help you. So, but I'm Ron Johnson. That's Sam Ekstrom. Now to do it for today on the Ron Johnson Show, I want to make sure everybody remembers, please download, like, subscribe, share on YouTube. Just create an email address and you can hit the subscribe button and the follow button wherever you get your podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartMedia app. Same thing. Search Locked On Sports Minnesota, hit that button. And then also Amazon Fire and Roku, another place where you can get all of our content for Locked On Sports Minnesota. Just search Locked On Sports Minnesota and download the app right there to your screen. And you can watch all of our shows, all of our videos, and you'll get a chance to see all the pretty faces that grace the screen when they're on the Ron Johnson Show. I mean, we got Gabe Henderson, we got Lauren Screeden, we got Spice Adams, and of course, Adam Thielen. You're going to want to see because the facial expressions help tell the story. But I'm Ron Johnson again. That's Sam Ekstrom. I want to thank you and have a great day.